Hey, hey, hey! This is Best Practices Unveiled. This podcast is a judgment-free zone where we will have real open conversations about various topics. Our objective is simple yet profound. We're going to provide you listeners with valuable insights and wisdom from engaging guests and a passionate host. Best practices are not a quick fix. They represent a lifelong journey of growth, learning, and continuous improvement. We are creating a space that embraces inclusivity and shared experiences, offering something for everyone. Stay tuned. So, thank you again, Tashiba, for joining us today. I gave a little introduction, but I know that your story is powerful. So, can you share a little about your journey for those that don't know? At one time, you were in a very low vibrational space. Share a little bit about that with us.
Whew. I think I never noticed like when I was in it until I really got deep into it. And that was like in COVID. I realized that I was going through so much and I didn't know how to communicate my feelings to someone and let them know, I'm hurt and feeling sad. But I really think I've been sad since like the age of 7. But I didn't know how to tell those emotions because as a child, how do you express that you unhappy, you're sad? I just kept quiet. So I grew into a teenager and a woman who didn't know how to tell her feelings because why would I share that with anybody if, no one really, I always tell people, no one really cares. So in COVID, we all was going through things and, mental health really came out.
Right.
I had the opportunity to really just say to myself, I need help. I need somebody to hear me out. And it wasn't friends or family because you go to people and it's like, oh, you okay? You all right? That you'll get through it.
Right.
I needed more than that. So about 2019, 2020, I really noticed that I was in pain and I wanted it to come out of me. It was like that. I needed it just to come out. So that's when I really noticed that I got tired of holding it. I had to let it out.
Wow. Wow. Okay, and a lot of people suffer in silence, because whether it's upbringing or whether it's pride, we really don't want people to see us in that space. Share a little bit about that in your healing process.
For me, it wasn't pride. It's just that when you have been the individual that everybody come to, who do you go to?
Ah, absolutely.
Who do you talk to about all the things that you're going through? Because they need help, so how can they help you? Or they haven't got healing, how can they help you? I suffered in silence because I didn't even know who I can turn to. It wasn't even trust. It was just who can you turn to when everybody's going through something?
Right. Everybody's depending on you. You be the go-to for everybody else. But when you are in your space, because you wear it so well, nobody would even recognize and know that you're in pain to even be able to provide assistance for you because you've always been that go-to.
Remember that strong friend? They always, that strong friend, but nobody never asked. So in that process of being everybody's strong friend, daughter, granddaughter, niece, whatever it was, I didn't know who I can turn to. So for me, I had reached out before to a therapist and I probably took like 2 sessions. But when she started being so real with me, I was afraid of that because now she showed me who I really am. I stopped therapy at that time, and that's probably was like 2018. I said, this lady crazy. What she gonna tell me? Like, I'm strong, I'm good. One day I was driving from work and I called another therapist that I knew and she referred me to someone like who works for her. And I was like, I'm ready. This, whatever it is in me, need to come out. I was so ready at that moment. And I was driving and as soon as she sent the intake information, I was literally driving on the expressway doing the information because I needed it. So I was so tired of holding that 7-year-old girl in me. I needed her to just come out. I needed her. She was the voiceless. She wasn't able to communicate. So, I was like, I need her to get out of here.
What inspired you to make that call? What inspired you to take that step? I know you're saying that you were just full, but was there any, was it your family? Was it your children? Was it something you saw on TV? What gave you that push to say, all right, this is it? Because a lot of us are not really connected with ourselves to really acknowledge when that knock is at the door.
So I'm going to tell you my truth. What inspired me was I was going to commit suicide. I was driving home and I was just so frustrated with life. I was so frustrated with life. I was so overwhelmed. I didn't know what to do, who to talk to. And I was driving and it was between therapy and the suicide.
Wow.
But I have kids, so I couldn't be a coward. And they know that their mom took her life at that moment.
Checked out. Right.
So I was like, I'm going to get the help for my babies. But I had to say, well, I can't get the help for my babies. I got to get the help for me. And then my babies will see how strong I get.
Right.
So it wasn't just the individual or family. It was me at that moment saying, if I don't get help, I'm going to drive this car off the cliff. Because I was so full of all of this that was happening and I didn't know how to control it. So I was just ready to just let it all go.
Wow, I'm glad you made that call to get help. What lessons from your struggles have you been able to, I know you said your children were a driving force, and I think when we're going through those emotions, most of us can actually, that can bring us back into focus and understanding that I'm not here just for myself when we have children. So were your children a big piece of that motivation for you to?
Oh, it was a big piece too, because I was so empty. I didn't know, like, I can't pinpoint the exact lesson, but as I went through the journey of therapy, the lessons started coming. I'm not the only one going through this. I'm not alone. It's so many other people, other women, other parents, other moms that's suffering and they have no one to communicate with. Right. Because I look at life like this. My mom only can give me what she has. Not saying she's empty, but if her cup is at a quarter, that's all she was able to give me. Absolutely. Growing up. Same for my grandmother. But I want to give my kids a full cup with a healed heart, a healed soul. So I had to say to myself, if I'm going to do this journey, I'm going to be honest, I'm going to be open, I'm going to do the homework, I'm going to show up empty or full to therapy. And I did it.
That's amazing. Because I'm listening to you and I'm thinking about it's work. And it is a lot of work. That self-work is very challenging, to be able to check yourself, to be able to have those difficult conversations when you are sitting on someone's couch, as I call it when I see my therapist. I'm coming to sit on that couch and we're going to express and share things and you learn things about yourself. But a lot of people are not able to process that self. How many of us actually sit with ourselves to listen, to hear and feel what it is that we're experiencing in the moment? A lot of us don't. As opposed to actually dealing with ourselves, we'd rather go outside of self to be entertained, to not focus on what we need to internally. And it's all this external information we're bringing in. And I think for me, I would say it just confuses us even more.
Oh, because you're not sitting in silence.
Yes.
So I literally had to, I call it sit in my own shit, like really sit and learn who Tashiba was as the woman. Not no longer as the child, the teenage girl, the daughter, the granddaughter, the niece, the girlfriend, the wife, whatever it was. I had to learn who I was, what I love, what I want, what I don't want, what is making me happy and what is not making me happy. I had to really just sit there for days, like no watching TV, not, like you say, not listening to the social medias, because all of that, if I'd have intake that, my emotions would have kept going in and out. Right. So for me to be able to sit in silence and really do the work and then be open enough, when she said things back to me, I processed it. We get so
right, defensive. Yeah, because nobody want to hear nothing imperfected about themselves. Oh, that's not me.
Definitely
It's
not.
always the other person.
Even if I felt like I need to go, she was just like, give it a moment.
Right.
Think about it. And that next session, I'm like, you told the truth. It's like that. I can see it all in you. But I was so used to being a leader, everybody's support system, the wife, the mother. How can you tell me about me? I just need basically sign off on a paper and let me just go on about my business. But I had to sit in it, and I sat in it for 2 years. Every Sunday, it was a part of my life. I just went through the journey, and I contact her if I had like a time I needed her in between the week, we'll speak. She'll talk to me, and that cliff that I was going over or going under, or however it went, she helped me just balance because she didn't know me.
Okay. Right. It's different when you're outside and really not, and being a part of your everyday life or part of your circle, they can really give you an honest perspective of what they see.
Oh, I didn't need a yes person.
Right.
I didn't need a cheerleader. I needed somebody to take all of that I was carrying and just like pull it apart. Like, just take it. Okay, today we go, here we go, put that away. Here we go, put that away.
Right.
And don't keep it. Like, we putting it away to something else. Like, it's just gone. Like, we're not putting it in our pockets, and we want to keep, we keep the little lamps and I didn't keep none of that. And I had to go through that healing so I could be able to give back what was taken from me.
When you say was taken from you, would you say that, because I feel like a lot of the trauma that we experience as adults is unhealed wounds from our childhood. And I know you referenced a little girl, the 7-year-old girl. So would you say that a lot of the trauma that you are now still healing through, was part of childhood trauma?
Was it? That missing love piece, that trying to over accomplish everything in life to get those praises. Like, I used to say to myself, I'm doing everything right. Do you see me? But they not hearing me. Mm-hmm. Oh, you did. That's just Tashiba. Like, good or bad. You know how we got the bad kid? We like, that's just that one. But it was like, I was so much an overachiever. It never was surprising to them. So they didn't give the love that I needed. I needed I love you. You're beautiful. Mm-hmm. I needed that 7-year-old girl needed that. Mm-hmm. I was body shamed from being a young girl, being slim, small. So the confidence level hit. There we go. They done broke me down there. Then I had big teeth. Here we go. Broke me down there. Right. So it's always was something someone was breaking down. So now that whole feeling of I'm not enough. Mm-hmm. Nobody in the house saying you're beautiful. Right. Nobody's saying I love you. Maybe because family members had to work, they didn't show up to the certain accomplishments you did because it was such a norm. Right. Oh, you got 5 more certificates? Great.
If you got the grade, if you got the praise.
If you got it, or just put that over there, I'll look at it later. Right. So I always try to overcompensate for something that no one can give me. So here come this adult, still overcompensating for everything. And people just like, what, you want a cookie? Right. You want an award for that? Like, it's like this is a part of life. So you make those mistakes. And I wouldn't say mistakes because I have beautiful kids. You date the wrong people. Right. Just for that.
Still looking for that attention.
That attention.
Yes.
Or you have this guard up that you're so strong. And nobody wants to like deal with that strong, powerful woman because they don't know how to approach that.
Right. And then what we don't realize is with men, from what I've been told, is that they can see. That's that daddy. You ain't got no daddy syndrome, or you looking for somebody to fill that gap, and they don't want to deal with that. Yeah. You have some that don't want to deal with that, and you have some to respect and understand it's a healing process because as we have been broken as children or young women coming up, men have issues as well.
Oh, a lot of them.
But they've always, like you said, we've been taught to keep everything in especially for men, because they're supposed to carry the load and carry, the responsibility of the family, which is true. However, they also been taught that they're not supposed to cry, they're not supposed to show emotion. So you think about some of the same traumas that we have gone through as women, they too experience as men every day. Yeah, but they gotta hold it all in.
So imagine being the mom who don't have the man, who's raising young men, trying to teach them how to be great young men, and you so strong, so you trying to keep them tough, you tough. What man want all of that? Like,
right.
There's a lot going on. Like, then
that's real strong.
That's too strong. What am I do with her? Like, she. I look like I got it all together. I really do, but I'm broken.
Yes,
I'm broken.
Yeah, I think we all are though, from some shape, form, or fashion.
But I will say, I was broken. I'm not broken anymore. But because I show up in a form, now I have these young men, and now I'm going to protect them from any and everything. So whoever the man that want to come in, you can't be no weak man, because I'm this strong woman. And I'm not raising young men, to be weak. So how did he balance that when either I make too much money, I talk with authority, now he feel less than if he even coming in, or he don't even know how to handle
all of this.
Yeah. It's too much for him. It's like, what? What is all of that? She has this powerful energy.
Right.
How do I deal with that? So now, what do? I continue to raise these young men without a man. I never been a man, so I'm trying to do the best I can.
Right. To balance out what they need.
And then protect my heart.
Exactly.
Protect all the 7-year-old innocence that I never want nobody to take from me, because I'm still mentally not healed at that time from all the 7-year-old self.
Right.
So I'm protecting everything, 7, 13, all of these. So how does a man even come into that space in that era of my life?
They don't.
They run.
They don't. They run. Yeah, because they don't want to deal with it. And even if they are healed, even if it's a whole man, I'm going to say, and when I say whole, I mean that they have not experienced a lot of trauma, they feel like, why should I have to put all that work in?
Yeah.
Right.
Or I'm a pretend I'm still all together, because remember now, I might not give you the energy of I'm broken, because you don't see that, because I'm strong. We're strong women. We don't come off with the energy I'm broken.
Right. Absolutely.
We don't come off like that. Absolutely. But all of the childhood trauma, she's still there.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna protect
that trigger.
Yeah. So now something that happened, and you just you didn't say I love you, or you didn't text the right text, or you didn't give me what I needed. Now I'm like mad. You don't care. You ain't call me. Now I'm bringing all my insecurities out. But we probably already 6 months in, a year in.
You're like, what?
Strong. I thought you were strong. Right. Now all my weakness, and I'm crying, and all these emotions is happening, and he don't know how to handle that. So now what do you do?
Back up. Right.
Now I'm like, okay, well.
He wasn't ready.
Right. Nothing I did. I'm great. Okay, move right on. Not knowing what I done gave him.
Right.
And he didn't know how to handle that. So now we ain't even break up. We ain't even just stop talking. We done both just moved on and see each other like 2 years from now. I'm like, what happened?
Right.
Mm-hmm. You ain't call me no. Okay.
Right. And don't even have the conversation about why he backed off. Especially if we are in a space of not even acknowledging that we too have had some part in him making a decision to take those steps away. Yeah.
So they go back to strong. I don't need no man. Take care of my boys, live my life, make my money. I'm good. You go to the next one come along. I'm doing the same thing, because I'm afraid to be open.
Right. You got that I call it a wall.
What?
Man, that thing be thick as I don't know what.
Because I haven't at that time found somebody who know how to break it down.
Yes.
Because they all running.
Yeah.
Oh, you was too strong. You was too busy. You was chasing your dreams. And you like, oh, now here that goes. You added all whatever you just said to me to that 7-year-old little girl.
Right.
Now I'm feeling like nobody gonna ever love me the right way.
Right. And you know what? When we talk about men giving us that energy, I feel because, like, again, themselves have not grown into true manhood. They have issues with mothers or women, maybe first loves, that have treated them a certain way. I could always
that heartbreak from somebody else. Oh,
yeah. But it goes both ways. So see, we expect them to be compassionate.
Oh yeah,
for us. But then I realize as I look out in the world now, our men are changing. You know, because like we're talking about, a lot of us are raising boys without men.
Yeah.
So the men are taking more feminine roles than masculine.
Yeah.
So they don't know how to step up and be in those spaces where they can be a comfort and give you that support that you need when you're in that space, because they themselves lack, you know, the fatherhood, or, you know, how to be a man, how to groom your son to become a better man, because they're struggling themselves with that piece. But they're not going to say that because I'm a man.
Yeah.
So it's a catch-22. It's like, are you the man? Are you the boy? Are you the teenager? What part are you playing in this?
And then imagine that strong man and that strong woman.
They clashing.
All day.
Absolutely.
All day.
Absolutely.
Nobody walls down.
Right.
Everybody walls is up.
And communication right now is a text for most. You know, it's
an
really,
emoji.
And emojis.
Like, I don't understand. What is that?
How many times I know for myself recently, I've gone out, whether it's socially, I don't care where it is, and I'm seeing a couple, they're out on a date, but nobody's talking, heads are down, you know, she's on her phone, he's on his phone. Yeah. You know, where's the connection?
No connection. How do we connect when we holding the phone the whole time?
Yeah.
So we don't even know how to date. So we talking about, for me, 20 years ago, because my son is going on 21, when we didn't have all of that and people still didn't know how to communicate. And then I always been an over communicator, but didn't give those emotions out. I never told you about like what I felt or how I was, because I had to trust you.
Right.
But he don't know how to communicate, whoever he is, to stay at the same, I would say, level with me. So now either I'm too smart from what they say, or they not ready for those conversations when you do have them. So it's like, what do I do? Okay, well, I stay to myself. Mm-hmm. How can I have a conversation with somebody who can't have a conversation back with me?
Right. So a lot of times they bring what I call a representative.
Yeah.
They act like they are into what you're talking about. They're on the same level. And then you get to find out it's totally different. Right. Absolutely. So I kind of want to go back a little bit, because we jumped right in, because I really felt that was a very important piece for people to understand and know about you, because I know you on a personal level, and I myself was in a low vibrational space, and you were able to share so much positivity and help me to really dig deep within myself and connect with that little girl and connect with my self-worth. So I think it's very important that we as women, as men, women, just human beings in general, it's very important to know your worth. You know, and a lot of us don't connect with that because, again, we're so busy trying to be what everybody else expects us to be, as opposed to being who we are. Show up as your authentic self, right?
That's scary.
It is. It really is, because trusting others with that part of you can be detrimental in the long run. Mm-hmm. We conform to what others think or feel we should be for them.
Yeah.
And in doing so, we lose sight of ourselves.
All the time.
Yeah. So, I want to thank you for, being there. You've been a support for many women men in general. You don't take sides. I think that's really special. So I wanted to bring that point out about you, but then tell us a little bit about Tashiba now. We know where you've come from. You can share a little bit of your processes, how you got to where you are. I know you shared a little bit about therapy, but go a little bit more into that to let us know what that process looked like.
Oh, you said something that I just have to touch on. You said letting people in to know us, but we ain't even letting us in to know us.
This is true. Got to start there first.
And that's why I had to start. I had to let me in. I had to dig deep within me to know who I was. Because I didn't even know, say before I want to go into a relationship, I couldn't even tell you if I like flowers or not. Because I done been so messed up.
Right.
I don't know if I want roses or I want sunflowers. If I don't want you to buy me nothing, can we celebrate a holiday? I didn't even know because I'm so twisted with all that's happening to me. I didn't even want to celebrate birthdays. It's like, okay, it's okay. You don't gotta buy me no gift. I'm okay. I became okay with the things I shouldn't have been okay with.
Right.
Because I'm the gift giver. I want to be the one to always give someone something. You don't have to do anything for me. So I didn't know how to accept those things. I have this saying, and I didn't even know how to be a friend to somebody else. And it wasn't that I was a bad person. I didn't know for certain friends, you gotta show up all the time. So like I gotta nurture those wounds for you. I didn't understand all of that. That's a lot.
Right, it is.
When I'm already going through a lot, now I gotta be nurturing wounds. You gotta be calling and texting, so I never had friends. All of this is new for me as I'm going through the process because most people say I'm goal driven. I'm laser focused. That's me. Mm-hmm. So I didn't make room for even a friend to break down the wall to become my friend. Now I had business associates or friends that was a part of business. Right. But I took no one home with me. Mm-hmm. We had an event. We was there. That was it. All of this talking on the phone with people.
I'm doing all
that. Look at your face. That's scary. Like, I'm not letting you in because I trusted no one. Right. My kids was the only people I trusted. So Tashiba, how did Tashiba get to this point? Or being more open, welcoming people to be a friend, being more lighter with life because life was heavy. She did the work. She showed up for her. She started doing things that made her happy. Not her kids, not her mate, her. That's how Tashiba got to become Tashiba now. I didn't worry about fitting in. I didn't have to show up the way you wanted me to show up. I showed up as my authentic self all the time. I just showed up. I'm goofy. I like to have fun. I could be loud. I could be soft. I can have authority in my voice. Whatever it was, I showed up as me. I stopped showing up for how somebody thought I should show up. Right. Even though most people thought I was already showing up like that, but I was that broken 7-year-old. Right. She got that way when she started loving her first. I needed to love me 100%.
Absolutely.
I needed to show up for me 100%. I needed to celebrate me before I celebrated anybody else. Buy me a gift for me. Take me shopping. Go get the massage. Go get the facial. Go whatever it was for me. Now she's full. She went through the healing process. She feel whole now. She feel healthy. She has this energy because our energy goes down when we're not feeling whole.
Absolutely.
Now she can show up when she's available for others. It's not on their time no more. She didn't have to give all of her away to somebody else.
Right.
So that's how Tashiba became the Tashiba you see here today.
Mm. And being in that space allowed you to help others deal with their...
I think coming from the industry I've been in for many years, I was helping on a broken leg, like that broken leg. I still was pouring into them even when I was empty. But now, me being so full and whole, I can feel the change when I give someone that help, that healing, that when they call me for information or they need me to just hear them out, I don't take it in anymore. I think we shared this before. I'll have a conversation. That person ain't healed. All of their brokenness will go into me. So imagine having hundreds and thousands. Like I interact with so many people.
Right.
All of them are in me at that point. So plus all of whatever
own personal stuff you got going on.
So that was a lot.
Yeah.
Now, when I have those conversations, we talk, I leave it where it's at. Not that I forgot the person, but their energy is not in me anymore.
You don't take it all in.
No.
Right.
Because you can't. If I would do that, I'll be back to 2018, the 7-year-old child. All of that. We gotta protect our energy.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So that helped me be able to support others once I went through my healing journey. I really did the work. Because I've always been an inspiration to people,
right,
but on that broken leg. Now both of the legs is healed, the body is healed, the energy is healed. Now you can pour into somebody. How are we pouring into people being
broken and empty?
Just all broken. Like how can you take advice from somebody? And I'm not saying I'm perfect, but I did the work.
Right, and you were sharing from experience. It's different when, just like me, I was just telling my daughter, I am into fitness and, the holistic lifestyle. And you get people to just start working out and they be like, oh, girl, you need to start doing squats. Oh, you should start doing it. I'm looking at them like, sis, I do this. This real. Right, this is real. This is a lifestyle for me. Yeah. I appreciate, you excited about your new journey, but
learn. Learn, work, do the work. Take
Absolutely.
Your time. Don't come, and that's why they have experts. They have gurus. But then the words are used so freely.
Yes.
That people think they can just throw it out there. So I don't say I'm an expert. I don't say I'm a guru. I'm just here to share my journey.
Because you've done the work.
I've done the work.
And you can speak from experience and wisdom.
Yes.
Absolutely. Yes, absolutely.
All these titles. Perfect titles.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. When people say, I'm going to share this story with you and my listeners. I have, you know how you advance, you get better at what you do. So you're in the room with people that at one time you were looking at them in awe, like, oh my gosh. And now you're in a space and sharing space and ideas or what have you. They say, okay, everybody's going to go around and give an introduction and say a little bit about who you are and what you do. Yeah. Oh my God, Tashiba. I'm in the room and I'm seeing all these powerful faces and I'm like, oh my God, I'm listening to this doctor so-and-so and this one is so-and-so and this one does this and this one does that. And when it got to my time to say who I was, I almost passed out. My heartbeat, I'm telling you, was like from here to here. I just felt like they were looking through me, like they could see all my insecurities, all the things that I was worried about that I wasn't doing right. I wasn't doing to the best of my ability. I got through it, but I do a lot. So then I started like, I'm part of this, I do this, I'm just running things off. And I just cut it short. And then they kind of like, blink, 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 like, okay. And I was one of the people who was in the room. I texted, I was like, oh my God, I almost passed out. I'm like ready to pass out. And she was like, I can't tell. You did wonderful, But even in that moment, being in that space, not really knowing my damn worth.
That's so.
Because trying to meet and be what everybody expects me to be, as opposed to just saying, this is where I'm at.
Yeah.
I'm here, I'm learning. And I think it was the admiration for the others that were in the room, that I'm in the room with them now. I'm not on the sidelines saying, oh, wow, she's an amazing woman. She's an amazing leader. Yeah. She's done this, she's accomplished that. I think that it was a little bit of that as well, but I was so shook. And it's happened to me a couple of times. And I reach out to some of my mentors and I'm like, what? You?
Yeah.
Yeah, me.
I notice a lot of people, it's the titles. Like, people stand up and I got the MD,
ABCDFG.
And you just be like, what? And you like, little old me. And it's like, what? And I'll stand up in the room and don't have all of those titles and stand up in the room and people like, can I get your information? And I'm like, you want my information? But that was the Tashiba before. Now, the Tashiba now, I don't care if people feel I'm cocky. Because I have earned every bit of this success. I have earned everything I have. No one gave it to me. I worked for it. I did what I needed to do. And I stayed focused.
Absolutely.
So you're not going to take my power. See, we get the doctors, the
clap on that. That's it.
Yes, they're not going to
take your power.
But I used to allow it.
Yes, you're right.
Because now I'm in the room, I'm sliding in the chair. Right. I'm high. And because, she got all of that. Or we looking at what people drive. They might be
where they live.
What kind of bag they got on. Yes. And I say this all the time. I walked in many rooms and looked at women and said, wow, they have on all of this nice stuff and whatever, however they got it. Never been no jealousy. It's just like, wow, they doing. And I knew more than most. Because I did the work. People show up to show up. I did the work. I did the research. I went out and learned and did all of these things. Why am I worried about a bag or a car or a title? Or I'm Tashiba.
Right.
That's the only title I need. I don't care what degree I get, what titles people give me. I'm still going to be Tashiba. And when I learned to own that, I had my power.
That's it.
I had my power. Can't take that from me now.
I know that's right, sis. I know that's right. So tell us a little bit about what you do. I know that you're an entrepreneur, very savvy with the business. Tell us a little bit about what you're doing right now.
Ooh.
Well, you said your field, your background. Give us a little bit of your background, how you got to where you are as far as the boss lady.
Oh, I've been a boss. I tell people that all the time. I've been a boss. I can remember being a little girl who we had a little grocery store in our neighborhood. I was still in elementary school. So say 10, going up there and bagging bags and making money in elementary school.
Wow.
So, and I mean, then $20 was a lot. So I'm like bagging a few bags. They give me their little change. They $2, $3. And while everybody was playing, I was at the corner store making me, the little corner grocery store, making my money. So I feel like, we talk about leaders and bosses and stuff. I think it's an inner you. Like, I've been knowing at 11, I was going to be an entrepreneur.
Wow.
I knew at 11, it's like, I'm too bossy. I'm too much of like in school being a leader. Like, I know I can't take authority good. So I know that even in class, the teacher can say something, I'm going to challenge it. So those leadership skills was built from a little girl. So I had the confidence then, but it was just like I was missing the love.
Right. That nurturing. Boy, I tell you.
So I showed up in every room as the most powerful little girl, all of this, but then it was all broken inside. Like, I just want somebody to love on me. I want you to hug me. I want you to tell me how much. And I missed all of that. But I showed up so strong from a little girl. So they gave it to everybody else. That's how I viewed it.
They didn't pick me. They didn't pick you.
They didn't pick me. And I remember, I know my mom probably gonna watch this video. And I love you, Mom. But I remember her saying, like, you don't need nobody help. Like, you good. Like, we don't have to basically like check on you because you always been okay. And I used to and I told her now as an adult, I had conversation. I just wanted somebody to love me. She's like, but we did love you. But it's like, I wanted to hear it.
Right.
I wanted to see it more. I wanted the hugs. I wanted the kisses. I wanted the rubs on the hair. And we have had those conversations, but it was like, I wanted that then.
Right.
But now, that has been out. My mom, everybody knows, but yeah, I wanted that then. That now, it does count. You still as an adult need your parents, or, but I wanted
at the
that
time.
then.
Right. You know what? And I think with our parents then, I was talking about this with another guest. They did the best they could with the tools they had.
Oh, all the time.
And then when we start adulting, we then understand a lot of the interaction and the energy that we receive from our parents, Yeah, because I know my mom, strong, single Black woman, she raised 2 girls, but she was, honey, the diva. I know I get a lot of that from her. Very outspoken, but a lot of times she was just so strong and protective and defensive. Relationships. It seems like it never worked out. I don't know if it was, what it was, but I know that she did the best she could with the tools that she had. And as a mother, and I started lifing and adulting, I did the best that I could. Yeah. And sometimes we beat ourselves up because of what we see everybody else doing and what we hear parenting should be like. I think that it comes with experience. Oh. Because nobody was given a handbook. Nobody had the perfect life. Some people had the single parent home, whether it's male or female. Some people had their mother and father. That way you can get a balance. But sometimes that's messed up in the house.
Traumatizing.
Yeah.
Very
So
much.
I just think that, it's a process. And we all learn as we go along. But I think it's accepting.
Yes. The process.
A lot of us want to control the outcome. And then that takes away from the ultimate experience.
But just imagine, like you said, she did the best she had with what she had, the tools she was given. Every child is different. I was raised by my grandmother. I'm a child that has never received a beating. You could just speak to me and I knew, don't play.
Right.
I was an A student. I didn't give trouble. I wasn't none of those things. So I wasn't raised in a household that was chaotic or I had a really great upbringing. Okay. My grandmother worked. We was like the kids in the neighborhood that, back then they had the J.C. Penney's, the Bird Eyes. We shopped every weekend. Like we got the bongo jeans and we was Nautica, like all the things some people didn't have then.
Right.
So I was raised very well. My grandma believed in education, but she had to go to work. She didn't have a car, so she lived one place and probably worked like an hour away. She cooked meals. I mean, a strong woman.
Right.
This was a strong woman. Like, she was the first one up, the last one asleep. She made sure we did everything. Like, me and my aunt grew up like sisters. So when we grew up, it was like our homework had to be done. We had to check in. We wasn't like running those streets. We had structure. Right. So I would never say that I wasn't raised correctly. Right. That's how I became the leader, the boss that I am, because but my grandma didn't have any friends. We never seen anybody come around the house. So maybe I adapted to that because my grandma was like just family focused and I became that. So I didn't know anything else, but I was raised very well. Upbringing, order, home cooked meals, clean house. When I tell people I wasn't raised by my mother and father, but my grandmother kept you in order. And she's like, what, 5'2"? Little old lady. Yeah. Little old lady who just, everybody, even people knew, don't knock at her door at a certain time.
That was my mom too.
They just knew.
Not come unannounced.
Yeah. So me and my aunt was raised very well. It's just that she was I'm going to just say, maybe she was so busy. She didn't know maybe how she was raised. She didn't know to say, I love you. Now she does it,
right.
Because things you grow as you get adult and become an adult, or you get more kids in your life or grandkids or your life change. So yeah, it was just, I was missing those pieces. I didn't have that emotional, the connection, nurturing part, it's like, I fed you, I clothed you.
That's good. That's me showing you I love you.
I took care of you. I took care of you. You didn't. The lights didn't go out. And you you still wanted a hug.
Yeah.
I still wanted the kiss on the cheek. I still wanted that. So yeah, I don't want people to think I was like, I was living in. No, my life was not like that. It was well taken care of by my grandmother. She was that strong woman, and I think that built me too, because I have a grandfather and he was there, but it was times that, he did certain things and my grandma just always, if the lights went out, we must have been asleep. That's when the lights went out. Because I never seen the lights on.
Never went through any of those.
We always had food. We had the best snacks in the house. So all of that, people came to our house and said, you got some chips, you got this. They knew my grandma
had everything on.
And she didn't get any assistance. She didn't get none of those things. So it was like she always just did it. So it became just the norm.
So innovative. They always made sure we had
everything. So that was like, that helped build the boss in me because she never made an excuse. I tell you, first one up, last one sleep. Never made an excuse about life. And it just showed me that excuses to me is for the weak.
I say the same thing. I say people who excel in excuses seldom excel in anything else.
Yeah. It's for the weak. So I just always believe that if I want it, I set a goal, I put a timeline to it, and life do have its obstacles.
Absolutely.
But I can tell anybody, 95% of mine went through.
Attain it. Absolutely. Because you're not afraid to put in the work.
Yeah.
If you can face your darkest moment, go within yourself, find that little piece of light that's worth you making a complete turnaround. I say you can do anything you put your mind to because that's a lot of work. Sometimes people can't sit with themselves.
Mm-mm.
And that's another reason why
it's scary.
Scary. Because it's some of the things and some of the ways that we process and think is really dark.
Yeah.
I don't believe in good and bad. I believe in what is.
Yeah.
And I think that there needs to be a balance.
Yeah.
But sometimes we can get so caught up and caught outside of self that we lose ourself.
Yeah.
And it's not that once you lose yourself, you can't, get it back. But it is work. And a lot of people don't want to put that work in. They don't want to stop the outside chatter. They don't want to stop the outside influences and really, really, really focus on self. Not understanding or realizing that is the best practice.
It's the best.
For change, for transformation. You have to be able to sit with yourself and work through that stuff. And it's not to say that you are a negative person, you're a bad person. It's that, in order for you to create change and make change, you got to make those changes. You got to change.
Yeah.
Nothing is constant but change. And sometimes we get stuck. We get complacent because we want to be right. It is.
It's scary. Who wants to be? I don't watch scary movies, so I don't like nothing jumping out at me.
I don't like it either.
So imagine the life of what we have. And then, see, it was easy for me because I didn't have all of those friends. Now, you just said it. People got all these friends. So if I go to myself for 6 months, is she going to still be there? Is he going to still be there?
Right.
That's the scary part. Because I'm not human to most. That's how people look at it. He's like, you're not human. You can keep going. You're so strong. You can have this. So now if I had to tell the imaginary friends I had, what was happening, I got to explain myself. So now I'm going to feel guilty and this and that. I got to heal. It's not about you.
Right. But if they're true friends, they would understand and respect that.
And it's true, but then sometimes as humans, we selfish. And we want all of you.
Yes.
No matter what it is.
Yeah.
No matter what you're going through. So sometimes
that's so true.
I had to go through it, and I did have a few good friends, and I probably could have said something, but it wasn't for me to tell you. I had to just go through it. And then I apologize after.
Right.
I can't come and say, well, I'm going to take 6 months. I don't know how long it's going to take.
Right.
It's going to take me 3. I don't know. The healing process doesn't have a time frame.
It doesn't. It doesn't have a time frame. You're right.
And I tell people, I may be healed now, but I still have triggers that maybe cause some type of trauma.
Right.
So I'm healed. I'm still human. So you might do something that triggered me and that trauma come back.
Yes.
But because I'm healed, I know how to navigate it.
Right.
I don't got to sit for 6 months nowhere no more.
Exactly.
I just go ahead and say, okay, Tashiba, you got this.
Right.
You know how to process this, and you know what to do with this.
Absolutely.
See, that's where the healing came in. Because see, we talking about we healed. Here go the trigger. Here go the trauma. Now we down for 6-8 months.
Right.
You need to go back in silence.
Yes. Tap on in. If you tapped in, it won't take so long.
That's it. So I'm like, okay, I'm human. Give me 24 hours.
Right.
I need a little moment.
I'm like that too. I have to process sometimes. Or sometimes, oh my God, you're so quiet. What's going on? And because I am the alpha and the omega in my space, my energy is Trump. So if I'm coming through here and I got things going on or what have you, they be like, oh, what's going on? You okay? You know, you could feel it. You know, so that's a lot too.
Yeah.
You know, that to have to and I tell them, you know, sometimes I'm not always going to be skipping around here, blowing sunshine and rose petals. You know, you got to be able to accept when going within, stepping away, and I need a moment. You know, and sometimes I'll say, hey, give me a minute. I need a few minutes because everybody wants to share. Everybody wants you to be a part of their good. They want to come to you for advice, and it's honorable. It really is. But then sometimes when you're dealing with your own growing pains and things that you're experiencing currently in the moment, not always do you want to say, hey, look, now, the book I was getting ready to come out, this happened. I had 3 meetings today. I got to find the notes. I got to do, you don't want to go through all of that. You just 1 second.
Yeah.
You know, just give me some time.
And the great thing about it is what I learned is you have to tell people.
Yes.
Because you did this whole flip the script, we would call it. And I'm like, well, what's wrong with her? She got an attitude. Yeah. We normally talk every day or this and that. You got to just say, you know, don't answer the phone. I got to call you back later. And I would respect that. But if it's a norm that you have a conversation every day and I don't call twice or 3 times or you normally text and say, give me 2 minutes, you know, and you don't say nothing, I'm like, well, what's wrong? You know, I'm checking on my strong friend.
Right.
It's not, and then what people need to learn is it ain't always about you.
Yes.
It's not always about you. You acting funny. What?
Right.
I'm busy. And then
yes.
When I was down and out, I took 2 years. So this 2 years of maybe no income like I used to. This 2 years of no schooling. This 2 years of I'm doing the work. I'm not busy.
Right, just sitting. Doing what you need to do.
I'm going through the process. So what I try to explain to people that comes to me is like, you can do healing and be trying to do other things. You can't. But how much healing you gonna get? Because now you're still busy with the chatter. And I'm not telling you go through the process I went through. I was fortunate enough to be able to just go through the process. But you gotta give away something. Is it your phone? You ain't gonna be talking to people. You ain't gonna you watching TV. That's gonna give you that them triggers. You're gonna put down social media. Whatever it is, you gotta give it up. It is gonna be the toxic food because that causes unbalance.
Yeah.
The partying. You have to give up something. I was fortunate enough to be able to give it all up and just focus on me.
Right.
So when I went through it, it was just like I didn't have to worry about. I wasn't worrying about posting nothing or I have to be. I had to do it for me. So those who was upset, I was okay with you being upset.
Right.
Because I can explain the journey after I went through it. I can't explain it while I'm going through it.
Right.
I can't explain the nights I'm waking up just crying. I can't explain the emotions. I'm just literally just keep crying and the why me, the why I've been so good. I have helped so many.
Right.
And when you learn, why not you? What makes you
different?
Yeah. Why not you? You gotta go through this. My dad always said you gotta go through it to get through it. He has to decrease you to increase you. So I was decreased to when I tell you no income, no real communication with people, just going through it. I was so decreased. And that feeling I have now whole and then increased, no one can even take that from me. I don't care what it is. And I done been through some things since all of that. And the way I'm handling it now, I'm so proud of me because I know if it was before I went through this,
yes,
I'd have still been on the floor crying.
yes.
I'd still been crying.
Wow, that's powerful. So I know as Black women, we're often we talked about this earlier, to just be strong. How do you redefine your strength in a way that includes vulnerability and trust? Because I know that when we become broken and we're stripped down in that way, how were you able to rebuild that to be vulnerable and trusting again?
You know he gonna see this, but I finally got my person. I just finally got my person. Like, and I was open and honest. I was so open. I said to him, "Don't let me tear this wall down because it's there. It was already tore down, but don't let me tear this wall down and you're not ready for what I'm ready for. Don't let me open all of this of the what they would call the soft girl era, or the one that just wanted and you're not ready. But he already showed me he was ready. But it's just like don't. So
you were open, you were vulnerable, you let him know that, hey, I've been through some things and
yeah,
I'm willing and ready to let this wall down. But bro, I let this wall down and you act up. We got a problem.
I ain't never had a fight. But baby, I'm gonna tear it up. I'm gonna tear it up about that. I'm gonna tear it up. We already know.
Oh.
But I didn't have to be strong with him. I didn't have to be strong. And I didn't have to be weak. I didn't have to be strong. I just had to be Tashiba.
And that's what it is.
All I had to show up every day, just show up as yourself. Be you. The funny side, the goofy side, the loving side, you want to cry, you want to scream, you want to punch something. Just show up as you
are. And he was able to accept all of that. And that's what it's about.
I had so many emotions.
Oh.
I had so many feelings. He went through the journey with me while I was going through the therapy. He went through the journey. He was right. He knew the therapy sessions that you logged on yet. Yeah. Have a good session, like making sure because he never want to interrupt it. And if I wanted to share, he was there. If I didn't want to share, he didn't force. No force. So I finally got that person I can be me with. So the vulnerability just came natural. It just came natural. It's just like, okay, I'm safe.
Nice.
I'm safe. I don't have to pretend to or ask this person. And like, I asked for one thing in my relationship was consistency.
That is the key for me, consistency. Don't send your representative and then 3 months later, I'm like, who in the hell? Who is this?
You changed your name?
Right. You changed your whole identity. Yeah. I don't even know who you are anymore.
Did this person just walking around? Yeah, but I asked for that at the beginning.
Nice.
And he show up every day that same way.
Oh.
No questions asked. Like, I don't feel like I met his cousin or brother.
I was going to say, you got a cousin, uncle,
he got a couple of them. But it's just like, I don't feel like I'm meeting somebody else. Like you say, who is this? Who is that? Like, right. I feel like I got the same person every day. Like, I might change some days, but he's consistent. I'm saying, like, my moods might change. Oh,
absolutely.
Those triggers might happen.
Yes.
And this man won't even raise a pin of a voice. Like, I could be like, just leave me alone. He gonna stand right there, just, okay, I'll wait for you. You going through it? I'll wait for you to finish.
Oh.
I remember at the beginning, I broke up with him so much. I used to dump him every week. And you leave yet?
Oh.
You still here? What are you doing? But I asked for consistency. And he gave me that. And it wasn't like I'm breaking up with him because he did something
wrong. Yeah, he was still working through your shadows.
I didn't know who I was. So I'm showing up as who this person is today. I'm Tashiba, I'm Sheba, I'm Nicole, I'm Berry, I didn't know who I was. So I'm just showing up broken, empty, the mom, this, the dad. But he was standing in that doorway for hours and just look at me. He knows when my energy is off. And it ain't even like I'll just walk in. You okay? What's going on? We need to talk?
Right.
When I say I've been in something where we don't argue. We could just disagree so calmly. The energy is so perfect, and
You deserve that.
I did the work.
Yeah.
I did the work. I honestly did the work, and I was just fortunate enough to have someone who was willing to wait for me in the midst of everything I was going through.
Wow, that's amazing.
I did the work.
That's amazing. Talk to me about motherhood. How does motherhood tie in to all of this? I mean, you were a mother when you were in the dark space.
Oh yeah.
I'm sure having children help motivate you, but give me some insight on that.
Oh, I've been a mother since I was 18.
Me too.
18 years old, navigating life, knowing I want so much because I can't show up empty for my kids. But I think my oldest two got the toughest side of me. They got that, like, order. Everything got to be in order in a certain way. So it helped build their character. But my kids, from what they say, they never really seen none of the brokenness, because I always showed up strong for them.
Yes.
They never saw a weak mom, because I always showed up strong for them. And I was married before, and I went through a divorce. A great person, we just didn't work anymore. It was we knew, we just knew. Even if he acted like we didn't, we knew. It was over. And we have 2 kids together. And I remember my second son, saying to me and my daughter, they can see like the lightness of me now, like how happy I am. And this is a few years ago, and I was like, I never, argued in front of them. We didn't do, any of those. I thought they didn't know.
You'd be surprised what children know, isn't that something?
Yeah. So when they said it to me, I was just like, wow, But I knew I became me. I was everybody else. I don't know who I was. That's what I'm saying. Like, I was trying to fit into the marriage, to be this wife, to make him happy. And he probably didn't even want that person. I didn't know who she was, so he probably accepted whatever that was I brought him, just not knowing. My older 2 kids, they have their own dads, and we was young, so they wouldn't know what they wanted or what I wanted. So, it was just, the energy was just so different. But my last baby, it was just totally different with, like, I was learning with the last one. I was, like you say, you so experienced all of these years. Like, I'm 18.
Right.
I'm currently 39, and I was learning with the last one. Isn't that something? Like, it took this long to learn, but I had to go through it.
Yes. Because when you learn yourself, it's an easier process when you're having children. You're more patient.
Yeah.
You're more nurturing, because you've been through so much now that you can give them all the things that we felt like we lacked.
Yeah.
You want to make sure that you provide those things for them so that they don't go through the things that we go through.
Yeah.
Yeah. And even with that, though, it has to be a balance, because it's a lot of projection. And sometimes we don't realize that when we're in an emotional state of pain or still in the process of healing, we project that onto the children.
Yeah.
And as an educator, I experienced that firsthand. And you can't go to a parent and say, stop projecting.
Yeah.
You got the baby here crying and screaming all day long because you don't realize, baby, that he done left you or he done cheated or what. You can't say that.
No.
So you just have to try to be there, give the baby, what they need. And sometimes the parents, they need some encouragement too.
And one of the things I know for sure my kids did take from me is the leadership, owning who they are, owning from the big one to the littlest one, owning all of that, showing up for themselves. I might have wasn't able to raise the 2 to be a man. My ex-husband did set an example on, how to be a provider, protector, how to be in the house and, make sure the woman, those things are done. Right. So I do see that in my sons, but now they're 2 of them are adults. Now, in my relationship now, it's like the whole thing, how to show up completely for everybody and everything without a question, without a hesitation. The person that's going to set it all up for me and break it all down at the same time. So my kids get to see that now, and they get to witness their mom in a whole nother form, because I don't know what they witnessed, because remember, I was still so strong.
Right.
I still showed up as a leader till my kids told me, Mom, it's the happiest we've seen you in a very long time.
Aww.
And I'm like, I was always happy. What are you talking about?
Right. What you mean?
What you mean? I be saying. So, they get to witness that now. They get to witness the mom that I always knew I was. It's just, like you said, we try to adapt to everything, the world.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's true. How the world expects us to show up.
That expectation of the woman supposed to do with all of this. She got to be the mother, the cook, the this, the that. And I'm like, what? No.
Why you give us so many hats? Why? Who says we got to do all of that?
Well, for those who see this, my younger two they're with their dad. When we divorced, it's like, hey, I'm going to take my kids. And I see them. I have access to them. We co-parent. We do all that. But full time, they're with their dad. And people gave me slack for that. Like, what? Why would you leave? He's a great dad. He loves his kids.
Right.
He wasn't a bad dad. We just didn't work out. So what makes that a problem that we live 10 minutes away and they with their dad?
Right.
And literally, this is his responsibility as much as it's mine.
Absolutely.
But the world said
the kid's supposed to be with the mother.
Yeah.
Right.
He's not a nurture.
Right.
You'd be surprised what people can do
when they got to do what they got to do.
Okay. So yes, they're being well taken care of. So yeah, and my babies know we 10 minutes away. If they need me, I'm there. But that I had to heal because I felt like I had to do it all.
Yeah, and that's a lot. It gets to be
overwhelming.
You got to make a choice. Either I'm there for my babies, but right now I got to concentrate on myself because I don't even know who the hell I am right now. Yeah.
That's scary for people to think. As women, we still got to go through the healing, get healed, carry one baby on this shoulder, have one baby on this breast,
work a job, give him his needs.
Yeah, I had to do all of that, and I did it, but then I still felt empty.
Yes.
So.
And there's a lot of people who live like that.
Yeah.
Because whether they feel like they committed to a vow.
Yeah.
Before the Most High, what have you, and they can't break that vow, even though they're miserable, they're unhappy, it's not the right person, they don't even know who they are, and they totally lost themselves. They will live like that.
Yeah.
As opposed to taking a step back, reevaluating the choices you made. And that's another thing. We don't like to fail. So when we have these relationships and they're not going according to plan, because we all got a plan. We all want that American dream, White House, picket fence, husband, perfect job, Yeah. It don't always work out that way. And that is okay.
Oh, it's so okay. And I did not have the White House dog or picket fence idea at all. I did not. I was living for society. I have 2 kids already. I was on my 3rd kid, still not married. And I didn't want the world to look at me weird. Like, I didn't want them to know, if they knew I was married or not, but I knew I wasn't.
Right.
So, I say this. Most people wouldn't even know what my situation is because I carry myself accordingly.
Right.
But the chatter in my head, you're not married, you're living like this, you're doing this. All of that was playing in my emotions. So I loved him enough to marry him. Was I fully in love with him? No. I didn't even love myself.
I was going to say that.
And no fault to him. He did everything he could, maybe at his ability of doing, but I stayed long enough. And I was what you was just saying. we in it because we don't know. I never saw any healthy marriage.
That part, yes.
And we need to see what we want.
Right.
So I never saw any healthy marriage. I never saw any really healthy relationships.
Right.
So I'm showing up with all of this emptiness that I already have.
All the baggage.
And now I'm bringing this to the relationship I'm in.
Mm-hmm.
I never saw that. Or I didn't have the friends or the, that had that. So, or the family. So I didn't know what that looked like.
Mm-hmm.
So I came in with what I had.
Right.
And he probably came in with what he had. And
that's typically how it goes, though, Tashiba, and then you build together. But what I'm seeing is nowadays the building piece is missing. It's instant. Everybody wants that instant. You're going to satisfy me. You're going to work for me.
Yeah.
And my needs. And it's a collective, because we working on building a relationship. We working for each other.
Yeah.
And I think we get caught up in what we see on social media. And a lot of it is for entertainment. It's not real life.
Yeah.
So don't expect to have that here.
Yeah.
All the time. Yeah, we can have some fun. We're going to have some good times. But sometimes it's work. Sometimes it's having these difficult conversations, respecting where everybody is. You know what I mean? Being your authentic self and show up. Show up. Don't have the expectation for me to show up for you 100%. But you don't want to reciprocate that.
Yeah. But you said the building. You gotta build you first.
Yeah.
All of it come back to self-worth.
Yes.
Self-awareness. All that comes back. And I said, I was fortunate enough to be in something where someone was okay with giving me time to heal.
Yes.
I know a lot of people don't have that type of mate. They don't have that type of, maybe friendships and things like that. But I will say, you have to work on you first before you expect anybody to give you anything.
Yes.
You have to.
I agree with that.
So you cannot expect someone to give you what you haven't done for you yet.
Yes. I agree with that 100%.
Because then you'll see clearer, because now I know how to not even say pick the friends, because people don't come with their authentic self now to me. I'm not searching for anybody. All of this is going to come natural.
You're attracted.
The energy.
Yes.
So all of that's just going to come. But I know if, that ain't the right energy for me, I ain't even wasting no time. We ain't going to even play this little, let me figure it out. Yeah, no, we not figuring that.
Maybe it was just a bad day.
Yeah, we not. What I said to you, I can't unsee what you done did. I can't unsee. I just became more like, that's how you act? I can't unsee that.
Right.
And maybe it's a good or a bad thing, but once you done showed out or act up, I can't unsee that. Because now I'm picturing, what if something bigger happened?
Right.
How do I deal with that with you?
Right.
We have bad days, but I need 2 minutes. And maybe 2 minutes in 2 days.
Right.
If you good? I'm good. I know that she's going through something. She gonna hit me when she done.
Right.
I know it ain't personal. But when you yelling and screaming and cutting up and acting a fool, who is that?
Right.
Oh, that's who she really was. Oh, that's who he really was.
Right.
I can't invite that into my space. That's too much for me to unpack.
Right. Absolutely.
So when you showed me that one time, I'm like, yeah, sorry. They go the distance.
So what are you doing now? Tell me about, like I said, we tapped in a little bit about your bossness. I know you've been a hustler since a young girl. You shared about your story working when you were, very young. How have you transmuted all the experiences into your entrepreneurship, giving birth to the Parent Trap? Give us a little bit background on that.
So you want to know what I'm doing now, or
I want to know it all.
What I'm not doing. I came from being in the early learning field for 21 years, like an owner, operator, and working for others. And now I advocate. I'm the voice for the voiceless. I'm a speaker for those in this field that really need someone to speak up for them. And I really want to do more in legislative. So maybe stay tuned on, might see me as a commissioner, a state rep, or somebody in the future. I hustle hard, so you never know. Absolutely. But currently, as a business or a new love, I will call it, I developed the Parent Trap experience. And that comes from being in the early learning field and seeing parents go through so much and have no one. Mm-hmm. Me being a parent and having no one. Because people will say, well, my kids never did that. I never experienced that. So I was like, oh, I'm alone. Mm-hmm. This was having my first son being a teenager and doing things I never would expect him to do. And the Parent Trap was born. It was just like, here go another love, like another child being born. And it became a place where parents can come. They can if they want to do businesses, it's life, it's anything of those nature. But we focus on self-awareness, mental awareness, financials, and relationships. Mm. So those pillars are very important in people's lives, because if your mental not together, how can you be whole for your kids? Right. If you don't have any self-awareness, how can you be whole for your kids? Absolutely. You don't know how to manage your money. Where y'all living? What y'all doing? How they eating? Whatever it is. How do you get to the White House and the picket fence and all of those things? You don't know how to manage money, credit, all of those things. And then relationships. If I don't have broken relationship with my mother, with my father, I don't know how to communicate with a friend. How do I get to a relationship with a mate or have a healthy relationship with my kids? Right. So those 4 pillars came about, and we have had a retreat. We do. Wow. I was doing like workshops and just kind of keep inspiring women, men. It's not just it's parents, so it's not just for women. It's for men and women. And out of that, we birthed Mental Dump Day. Mental Dump Day. Now, that's a whole nother platform, another day, another topic. But Mental Dump Day is special because the phrase is you can come on and dump the shit you no longer want to carry. How many people are carrying things week to week and they just want to leave it somewhere. Right. Right. But the friends don't want it no more. The family tired of hearing about it. But this platform was created for just that. Because we're going to be raw and real. You might not want to hear it sometimes. We're going to tell you the truth. And we have seen really great success with that. And I'm probably doing so many other things. She's also an author. Tell us a little bit about that. Oh, yes. So I wrote my first book in the 3rd grade. And I published the book at 30. And it's going to be 10 years. And I'm doing a remake of the book. It's called Space Station Elementary. So it's a journey, and it's something that's near and dear. I have supported other authors in publishing their books. And I got 2 or 3 books coming out between this year and next year. So you like writing? I love it. I like it too. Yeah. It helps me express. It's therapeutic as well. Very much. All of it. Mm-hmm. I do children's books, but if I share some of my journals, people will be like, oh, but I'm glad to have this platform today. Yeah, me too. This is a really good vibe, a good exchange. So we've talked a lot about, we've had a lot of exchange about being in, vulnerable or low vibrational spaces. We've talked about resilience. We've talked about motherhood, relationships. What would you say if you could go back and talk to your younger self when you were in those lower spaces? So from now, like who I am now and talking to that 7-year-old? Yes. Oh, girl, you got this. At some point, you're going to be nurtured, right? At some point, you're going to show up in the room and just be great. At some point, someone is going to love you the way you need to be loved. So continue pushing forward. Continue being the best version of yourself. Show up for you. But I will tell her it's okay not to be okay. It's okay to have a voice. It's okay to express those emotions that you're feeling. You don't have to hold on to them. You don't have to hide who you are. It's okay to be different. Because, girl, you at 39, they ain't gonna be able to touch you.
I know that's right.
So, you perfect inside and out. Just know it.
That's amazing. That's false. That's false. So, in that same breath, what would you say to women that are have experience or actually in the same space where you were before your healing, before getting to the space where you are now? What would you offer them?
I would definitely offer y'all mental dump day. I would definitely offer that. But if you don't know us, a mental dump, or you sharing this with a friend, I would say I know therapy costs because it wasn't cheap. I had insurance.
Definitely an investment.
It's an investment, and I had to pay a copay still with insurance. But I would say open up and ask for help. As women, a lot of times we don't want to ask for help.
Yes, I got it.
Yes. If you need a break, ask for a break. Be okay with asking somebody that you trust. If you have kids, hey, could you watch them for a few hours? I need a breather.
Right.
I want to go to the beach and just sit out there and look at the water. I want to go for a walk. I did a lot of walks in my space of going through things. I did a lot of walks. I could have walked some 5Ks if you told me to. That's how much I walked because it helped me think, and then I was able to write my thoughts out.
Yes, that is so much healing.
Oh, yes, definitely. I ended up finding a lady. She moved away, and she had something called Wine Down and Write. Don't drink a lick of wine.
Wow.
But I wrote, and it was so therapeutic with that. Having a space of people I didn't know, and we was able to journal our feelings. And that helped a whole lot. So finding the right groups of people. I'm not saying you have to change friends. I mean, if you choose to, if they breaking you down or they're not helping you heal. So finding new groups of people. Stop being afraid to go out and socialize with people that maybe are like-minded or, can help you navigate some of those emotions you have. And I'm not telling no one to tear down the wall as soon as you meet somebody and tell you everything. No. But finding those circles where you can get in.
Get uncomfortable.
And hear the truth, because everybody can't afford therapy.
Yes.
Everybody don't have the right people in their life. So finding those people that are willing to be there. And stop being afraid that, I can't tell you my business. You post it. We see it.
Right. Oh, my God. We could read the emotion.
Yeah.
Sometimes we get on social media and I've had people call me, "What? You okay? You shots fired. Because by what we're posting is depicting what we're actually experiencing. But I'm just going to put this cover front, but I'm not really going to tell you who and what directly impact me in order for me to project this emotion.
Yeah.
That projection is real.
And I had someone say that they knew I was going through something by how I'm a writer.
Right.
What I wrote on social media.
Absolutely.
They knew it. They knew I was going. And they same people, she was happy. You can see it. And we're not just talking about a picture. We put up pictures all the time. I can put up a picture of me smiling, but my words
say something totally different.
So you're right. But I would tell women to definitely do those things and find that group of people. And just because we were childhood friends does not mean we got to be adult friends.
Right. And I realized that I've had a lot of sister friends, and I got some sisters.
Yeah.
I have some true sisters that have been rocking with me no matter what I'm going through, what season I'm in. Those are my sisters.
You're right.
But I have some sister friends that when I've gone through my seasons or transformations, and if they were not on that same vibrational level, we split paths.
Yeah.
And that's okay.
Oh, yeah.
Respectfully, I could see you and I could say, hey, or, because you have to we all want to be accepted.
Mm-hmm.
So sometimes when you have friendships or you have relationships and they don't work out, whether they're male or female, I just look at it as they were there to serve as a friend in that time and space. And sometimes, again, if we're not going the same place, it's all right.
It's okay.
And don't need to hold no malice.
And we still can be friends.
Right.
It's just that season
is over.
Yes, that's it. We can still call each other. We can shoot whatever we got, And it's nothing like I don't like you. And that's what the thing I learned with, especially women. If that season wasn't the season, I didn't say we stopped being friends.
Right.
It just the season got different.
Right.
Now, okay, I went through that. We still okay.
Right. Absolutely.
And then you got to be okay with is the conversation's going to change. Because now you done went through it, got through it. Can they even still be on that?
That's what I'm saying. If we can't be on the same level, then it's going to be an imbalance. Again, everything is balanced. So it's not good, it's not bad. It's just that we not on an even
and we
tone.
Okay.
And everything's good.
Yeah.
You're going to go your way and have your experience and your processes, and I'm going to go my way.
Yeah.
And maybe we'll meet somewhere along the way, and maybe we won't. But we'll have the experience that we had as a memory for both of us.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Because no one want to keep hearing their past either.
That part. Oh, I remember when I'm not that person anymore. Stop handling me like that.
I know what I did 5 years ago. I'm yakking better than other people.
Think you? Yes, I do. I think I am, because if I don't think I am, who else is going to think I am?
I am.
Absolutely.
It's okay. However you project it, I am.
Yes.
If that make you sleep at night, I am.
Exactly. So what's up? Where is Tashiba going? Where can we look for Tashiba next?
I'm gonna tell you like I tell my kids, you gotta catch me now. You thought I was the boss then. Tashiba is just making sure she steady show up for her. Because even though, like I said, I've been through a lot, it still triggers that can happen.
Absolutely.
So I make sure I balance all of that out. I make sure I tell my mate when I need me time or I need his time. I need him to maybe love a little harder today than it was yesterday.
Right.
Because I'm feeling that, and he doesn't miss a beat, but I just might need just a little bit more.
Extra.
Just
Absolutely.
a little more.
And that's good that you can ask for that.
Yeah. So I know with the Parent Trap, I want to grow it even more. Well, I want to reach people who want to become parents. Because we might not have a book or a manual to show you how to be a parent, but you can have that village before you even get started.
Absolutely. Have some insight, some direction. I think it's definitely needed, especially in this day and time, because parenting is scary.
It's scary.
Especially now.
So I definitely want to reach as many individuals, couples, how to stay healthy in a relationship, how to communicate, how to love on each other, because I always said I want everybody to be happy. I just want everybody to be happy. And I mean, we already got enough going on in the world.
Right. Let's focus on happiness.
Yes.
Prosperity.
And joy and peace and love. But I will continue with Mental Dump. We do that every Wednesday night. That'll be something that's continue to go on, that we're growing. And for me, I don't believe I can change the world, but I can help change individuals in it to help the world be a better place.
That's beautiful. So what resources would you have to offer our listeners, our audience? Tell them how they can get in contact with you if they do want to take part in Mental Dump. What's that process like?
So resources, at the current time, I don't have a particular saying, let me give you a therapist, or I think therapists it has to fit with you. It's so many therapists, people say, they want somebody that fits their race, any of those things. I think that, you have to really do the research on therapists, counselors, psychiatrists, whatever you need. You really got to do the work.
To meet your needs.
For resources outside of, therapeutic, I would say also with Mental Dump, it's an invite. You know, it is open, and I want to build something, but I want it to also be a safe space. The people that's on there gonna protect it at all costs because it's a place that they feel safe.
Right.
So I don't want people to just come on and, you know, just to be there. It's really for you to help navigate through those emotions that you're having.
Open up.
You know, we don't need ear hustlers.
Right.
We really help each other
right.
in the process. And we're not saying every week somebody, you might have to be talking and you have problems. We like to hear the good.
Right.
We want to celebrate your wins. Right. We want to make sure we can, if you got a graduation, we want to show up to it. You know, that's how this village of people navigate. It's not just about self, you know, don't come on to something and just give all, be able to be a listener as well. And I know we saying that people going through the healing, but this platform is we share and we support each other and we make sure that everybody get the same equal opportunity.
To share whatever it is they need to share, as long as it's not vocally offensive.
Yeah.
I would say.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So it's really opinion based, but it's experience.
Yes.
So it's we always say like it's other people's opinion, but they done been through something to share their experience.
Absolutely. And I think that's where it really counts.
Yes, that's where it counts. Yes. So if you want to find me on every platform, I am Tashiba Berry, Tasheba Berry. I am on Instagram. I'm on Facebook. I'm on YouTube. My email is info@Tashiba Berry. I'm just me. I don't want to show up as any form of business. I just want to show up as me every day of the week. I am the business. I am the brand. I am her, and she is me.
Miss Tashiba.
Hey.
Thank you so much. This has been really authentic, us just sharing this wonderful exchange. I hope our listeners have found this information to be valuable. It's really important as women, I'm going to say, because I am a woman first, to truly tap into your authentic self and always show up for yourself, because it can be difficult when you conform and you give up your power. You know, it's hard to get it back sometimes, you know, all the time. I'm going to say it's work. So stand in your power, knowing your true self, knowing your true worth, and don't ever, ever, ever let anybody take that away from you. Thank you again for being here with us today. Thank you for being vulnerable and open. It is definitely healing to be able to have seen yourself on the side of actually giving up, and to see where you are now, to hear your voice. Sometimes when I see you and I hear you speak, the power behind your voice, people don't understand the process. You know, they may say, oh, she's so strong. Oh, you know what I mean? She's standing on that. Yeah, because I have to. And continue to do that, sis.
I will.
Love you. Thank you so much.
I love you too. Thank you. Best practices
unveiled.
Yes.
We out. Thank you. To everyone listening, this is a space where diversity and innovation are created. If you'd like to be a guest or collaborate, I'd love to hear from you. Email me at AnnetteE05@gmail.com, or you could message me on Instagram at TrueGoddess14. Let's keep planting seeds, building relationships, knowledge, and understanding. Until next time, keep evolving.